Contingency file codename. Knock off justice. Category. Superhuman team. Parallels to the Justice League. Subject analysis. The Guardians of the Globe. Their universe's answer to the Justice League. Strong team, powerful roster, but not exactly subtle. They mean well, but if things ever turn sideways, their collective strength could level cities. I've seen it before in my world. Stopping them wouldn't just require precision, it would demand adaptability. After all, they're as flawed as any team of superpowered egos. The Guardians of the Globe are a powerful team, each with origins that explain their strengths and their flaws. Immortal, a warrior reborn countless times, relies on centuries of battle experience, but carries the arrogance of someone who can't stay dead. Warwoman is an Amazonian champion from a mystical realm, wielding an enchanted weapon that defines her combat edge. Red Rush hails from Russia, where his superhuman speed and reflexes made him a national hero, though his reliance on momentum creates vulnerabilities. Martian Man, an alien shapeshifter from Mars, adapts to any threat but shares his kind's universal weakness to heat. Green Ghost gains intangibility through a spectral artifact, but their power depends entirely on maintaining a connection to it. Aquarius, King of the Oceans, is formidable in water, but struggles to maintain that dominance on land. Darkwing, a human vigilante armed with an arsenal of gadgets, mirrors my own methods, resourceful but prone to overcomplication. Each member's origin ties directly to their strength and limitations, which makes neutralizing them as individuals entirely possible. Now let's break them down. The Immortal is a lot like Superman if Superman were less invulnerable and prone to reckless charges. He's strong and durable, but he relies too much on his ability to heal. I'd bait him into a confined space and deploy focused gravity wells, increasing pressure exponentially to restrict his movements. Once he's slowed, deploy plasma rounds, designed to burn at temperatures that bypass his healing factor. Warwoman reminds me of Diana. Strength, durability, and a weapon to match. Unlike Diana, her confidence borders on recklessness. Her weapon is key. I'd use electromagnetic disruptors to sever its mystical connection, disarming her and removing her most dangerous edge. From there, deploy sonic concussion blasts to disorient her, followed by reinforced restraints capable of locking even enhanced limbs. Without her weapon in equilibrium, she's manageable. Speedsters are predictable, and Red Rush is no exception. Instead of relying on traps like caltrops, I'd use wide-area stasis fields calibrated to disrupt kinetic energy in his immediate vicinity. Once his speed is neutralized, deploy tactical adhesive foam grenades to glue him in place. For extra assurance, targeted tranquilizer nanobots injected via drone make sure he stays down. His reflexes mean nothing if he can't move. A shapeshifter like John, but with fewer morals. Martians have a universal vulnerability: heat. I'd use intense thermal disruptors, set to destabilize his molecular structure and prevent transformations. Once he's locked in a singular form, cryogenic agents freeze him in place, rendering him immobile. Phasing is tricky, but not unstoppable. Green Ghost's intangibility can be countered with dimensional stabilizers, forcing them into physical form. Once corporeal, a zero-pressure field nullifies movement entirely. From there, a series of reinforced containment cuffs ensure they stay locked down. Aquarius is essentially their Aquaman, but not as clever. His power depends on water, so I'd force him into an arid environment. Deploy dehydration drones that sap moisture from the air and his body, drastically weakening him. Once vulnerable, use conductive shock nets to incapacitate him. Darkwing's smart, resourceful, and heavily reliant on gadgets. I respect that, but he's not me. I'd bait him into a multi-layered trap, overloading his strategies with false targets and decoys. Once he's out of tricks, deploy taser rounds to disarm him, followed by impact-resistant restraints to ensure no gadget saves him. If they regroup, I'd deploy disruption drones to isolate each member into separate containment zones, neutralizing their teamwork. An EMP pulse would disable tech-dependent members, while airborne sedatives slow down the physical powerhouses. But if all else fails, I'd personally engage them in the Hellbat armor. Designed for battles beyond human limits, it gives me the edge needed to face the team head-on. With enhanced strength, flight, and energy projection, the armor ensures that even the most powerful members of the Guardians can't outlast me. The Hellbat is a last resort, but one I'm prepared to use to ensure the fight ends decisively. Standard metahuman cells for most. Aquarius is held in a moisture-controlled chamber. Martian Man and Green Ghost remain in cryogenic stasis. The Immortal requires a high-frequency sedative protocol to ensure he doesn't recover. When a team relies on power and coordination, taking both away is all it takes to neutralize them completely.